Hello, everybody. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Dawn.
And we're here to talk about Disney World, and specifically, I couldn't talk. Blah, blah. The Halloween party dates have been released,
Yay.
and we're here to talk about it. Even though it's just springtime,
That's okay.
it's our favorite time.
Yes.
Halloween, Mickey's Not So Scary. They just updated their website this morning, and the Halloween party begins on August 15th, which is a Friday night.
Yay.
And it goes through Halloween, and then after that, they redo everything for a couple of days, and then it goes into the Christmas stuff. But we're here to talk about Halloween. We've been to it a bunch of times. We're going a couple times this year, so we're here to talk about it, answer questions, tell you our tips, and get y'all ready for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. We'd greatly appreciate it. And join us in the comments and let us know if you've been, if you want to go, all that sort of thing. So it's going to begin on August 15th. That's a Friday night. It's going to be really hot.
Mm-hmm.
It almost seems weird when it starts that early in August, but you know it'll start out slow, and then the closer they get to Halloween, it'll get more and more and more. So I just brought up the website here. Oh my goodness, I about flipped it. We are going to look at some dates, some prices, the whole 9 yards. And just to let you know, it says guests of select Walt Disney World hotels can start purchasing tickets on May the 15th. And basically everybody else May the 22nd. So what that usually happens is, like if you got a vacation booked and it's and you're staying at Disney World, you'll be able to go ahead and book them on 15th. But what we've seen is typically they don't really start selling out immediately. Mm-hmm. Last year, I think it was, or might have been the year before, we bought them for like 2 nights before Halloween, and we waited all the way until like late summer, and it was still, so that first night, maybe it won't sell out like quick, but it'll sell out first, probably just for people wanting to come go see what it is. And we may be going, I don't know, on the first night, but
fingers crossed.
We may go try to get some live streams and stuff.
I was looking at the website too, and it was looking at all the stuff that said what's new, and it says that you can meet Mickey and Minnie this year at
at the theater.
At the theater.
It also says they're going to have a happy haunt for families at Storybook Circus. So I'm going to just guess that that's going to be a little walkthrough thing.
Okay.
Like where you meet the 4 characters during the day. Maybe it'll be, or even beside it, I think where they maybe had Santa Claus last year. I figure it's just going to be a fun little walkthrough thing. Maybe they'll give candy away there. I don't know. They're going to have a dance party, which they always do, but this year it's going to be inspired by the film Zombies 4, which I don't know anything about.
I love those movies.
Okay. I'll have to look into it.
You'll have to watch them. They're cute. Well, you don't really care for musicals. But it's more of a musical, but it's really fun. I like it.
So the dates in August, and like I say,
there's a lot.
August, you get like 15th, 17th, 19th, 22nd. I won't run through them all, but you got a few dates in August, a few more in September, and in October, a lot of dates. Mm-hmm. But in particular, around Halloween, you got the 26th, 28th, 30th, and 31st. We've never been on Halloween, and I want to go on Halloween, but I don't want to go on Halloween because that'll be the busiest night of the whole thing. And we also, like, at the resorts, they do, like, trick-or-treating and stuff at each resort. So usually what we do is go a day or two before Halloween, and then during Halloween we can go to the resort and do stuff too. So we'll probably go on the 30th this year for our big trip. But so the whole story is you can get these tickets. Advanced purchase windows available for guests of the Disney Resort Collection. So basically any Disney hotel is what it's saying. Okay, that's what I figured.
And that's, you have already had to have had your hotels booked.
Well, you could book it and then buy the tickets.
Gotcha.
So. The ticket prices range from $119 to $229. So basically, the August tickets will be the cheapest, and they'll get a little more pricey and a little more pricey up to $229 by the time October gets here. And then the ticket, you don't need to buy a ticket to Magic Kingdom. If you've got this ticket, the party technically starts at like 7.
Yeah.
But you can get in at 4. So my advice, before we had annual passes, we'd line up at about 3:30, and there'll be a line, but it wasn't that. I mean, it moves
goes
quick.
Fast.
We got in right at 4, and from 4 to about 6.
It's just like a regular.
Yeah, it's just like a regular day. So go do random stuff. You know what I mean? Like not party stuff. Go ride some rides, go do some stuff. And then from about 6 to about midnight, really from about 6 to about 8 or 9, you still got some play there because there's not a ton going on yet. But then the parade starts and the fireworks are usually around, 10 and all that stuff. So if you buy the ticket, if you're going and planning a vacation, the advice is don't buy a park ticket for that day. Make that a chill out day because the thing lasts till like midnight. Chill out at the resort or go resort hop or do whatever.
Sleep in.
Yeah, till 4, and then it's on from 4 till 12.
Yeah.
And they have treat trails. So you go down these trails, or some of them are in restaurants or whatever, and they'll fill up your bag with treats. Now they will, especially at the end of the night, they're just trying to get rid of candy in their big barrel.
Scoops.
So what we do, they'll give you a little bag. I did have one laying in here. They'll give you a little bag.
I don't know where's that.
And that's great. But go ahead and put you a big bag in the in a stroller or in a backpack or whatever, and you can just dump it out. And what we usually do is we have actually shipped back a 15 by 15 box of candy because they give you so much candy.
Because each person in the family gets one. Like, I'll get a bag, he gets a bag, and she gets a bag, and Joanna gets a bag.
Or, I mean, you could put it and if you flew in, you could put it in your luggage, just have plenty of room for it, I guess is what I'm saying. And, I mean, we eat some of it too, don't get me wrong, but before we leave.
It's a lot.
You get a lot of candy. They have a lot of cool stage shows. One of them is the Sanderson sisters and all this stuff going on. They got a good fireworks show, usually around 10. They do the parade twice, the Boo-to-You parade.
That's my favorite.
And then there's a couple like party-specific foods or treats that different places have. You can meet Jack and Sally. You can meet Mickey and Minnie, and they'll be in their Halloween outfit. Sometimes they rotate characters. One year we met the Seven Dwarves together back at Storybook Circus, and that was just a random, nobody said anything about it. They were there. So it's very cool. And you can dress up. You're not supposed to wear like a face mask, but you can dress up. You can do all kind of stuff. You could go and we try to split it up basically like you want to spend a couple hours doing the parade, doing the stage shows, getting the candy, but also it's a ticketed event, so there'll be a lot less people there versus like if you're on a random Magic Kingdom day in the evening time. So in my experience, after the fireworks, after 10 o'clock, from like 10:30 to 12, almost everything is a walk-on.
Yes.
I mean, we've walked on to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Literally just not a single person in front of us. Pirates is always a walk-on.
Pretty much everything.
Last year I walked on to, who keeps calling me here? Space Mountain. I walked, not a single person in front of me. Tron has a considerably lower wait. So all that stuff is perfect. So like before we had our annual passes, we walked in at 4. From about 4 to about 6:30, you can, if you got your annual passes, you can go in earlier, or if you were to have a pass for that day, and you can just get your wristband in the park. But that's probably not most people. They give you your party wristband as you go in, if you got your ticket on your phone or whatever. And then after 6 o'clock, all the other guests are supposed to get out. So they'll start looking,
They'll start making you show wristbands.
Show your band. And then at 7, sort of the party begins. My advice is to start the party over around Frontierland because the Hitchhiking Ghosts come out and do a little thing. And also Max comes out.
Oh my gosh, yes.
10 minutes before the parade. He comes out right there at the...
where the country...
Right beside the Country Bears, basically. And he goes down Main Street with his little jam. And then, well, it might be more than 10 minutes now I think about it, because 10 minutes before is when the Headless Horseman comes out.
Yeah.
So Max is before that. But anyway, you can catch Max, you can catch the Grim Grinning Ghost coming out, all that stuff. You can get the Headless Horseman, the parade. And then see the first parade's got more people. The second parade's got less people. You got to figure that part out. And the fireworks, you got to mix that in there too. I could be wrong, but I think we normally do fireworks and then parade and then as many rides as possible.
Yeah.
But you got to decide whether you want to even fool with rides very much, because you can just go and make it a Halloween. Let's get candy and let's meet characters and that sort of thing, which may be what we do this year.
Yeah.
We've never met Jack and Sally because the wait times get way high, because this is like a once a year thing. But people say if you can either get in line right at 4 o'clock or right around fireworks time, you might can get, pretty quick. So we got to play with that.
That's true.
Let me see what else they got on here. The Not So Spooky Spectacular, the Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular. There's a dance party.
Joanna likes all the dance parties. That looks neat.
Yep. Each year they release like some new...
Like new treats.
Here they actually got it listed. They're going to have Madame Leota's Seance Candle, which is a red velvet cake and cookies and cream mousse.
Mm.
They're going to have a Mickey-shaped cheesecake, which is a pumpkin cheesecake with graham cracker crust.
That'll be good.
Beef short rib and with purple potatoes. And then you can get on here, just Google Mickey's Not So Scary, and it'll tell you what's open and what's going on. Cinderella's Royal Table and Be Our Guest will be open, which I would not recommend going to a sit-down.
No, not at all.
You're going to waste an hour and a half to 2 hours of your party time.
I think that was the night we actually took peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and ate, because you just don't want to stop.
We've had a couple weird ordeals. Like she said, you get so caught up in all the stuff, it's hard to stop and eat, even at a quick service. Some of the quick services basically closed down for the party, but there's some still open. Last year, it was fireworks time. We still hadn't ate. So I bolted down to Casey's Corner, and it took like 45 minutes for them to get 3 hot dogs ready, and then the hot dogs were kind of
Yeah.
So I think for the Christmas one, we took sandwiches.
We did, and it worked so much better.
I would say either eat
before,
eat late lunch or something, and then maybe eat late dinner, take you some sandwiches in, or have some sort of a quick service thing planned out that won't take long, because you don't want to miss.
Because you may think, oh my God, that's going to be a whole lot of hours for that party. But honest to God, it feels like those hours go by so fast. And then before you know it, it's like, oh man, it's time for the fireworks. And then it'll be time to go. You haven't eaten yet.
And there's so much Rusty Cutlass. It's a pirate band that plays over in front of Pirates. You can go see them. You can see the Hitchhiking Ghost. You can see Max come out. You can see the stage shows. You can see the fireworks. You can constantly just go boom, 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 boom. So we'll have more videos out about it, but there's so much stuff to cover, as far as like where to get your candy at, where to get specific character meet and greets, like, the ones that only happen during the Halloween party. These treats, there's 3 or 4 different treats that are just specific to this party, which I'm hoping, here's our plan, kind of in my head. We're going to try to go opening night and do one of us will live stream basically, and one of us will video. That way we can show you what it's all about, but then I can come back and put together a video on like, here's the stuff you don't want to miss. But like I say, if it's up, if you got a one-time trip thing, don't do it in August. It'll be way too hot.
Yeah.
It's still hot in October. I mean, late October is still plenty warm. I have heard, I don't know this for a fact, I've never used them. I've heard you can save like $10 a ticket if you go through Undercover Tourist. I've never dealt with them. I don't know anything about them. That's just what I've read in some of the message boards. So if you're trying to save a few dollars, maybe. I just feel personally safer just going through Disney, and you got it all right there on your Disney Experience app. But my advice would be, and it's the way we did it 2 years ago, get your tickets, don't plan anything else that day, sleep in, go to the pool, chill out, and then be at Magic Kingdom at 3:30 in line. You'll be inside by 4:05 probably. Go do normal park stuff for 2 or 3 hours until the party actually starts. Because in that case, the party does not start when you walk in. And then once about 6:45 hits, have you a plan of like, I want to see this, I want to see this, I want to see that. The only thing I would say is once you can find out what time Jack and Sally start meeting, maybe get in line for that before 6:45, because I've heard varying things of what time they start meeting, but if you can get in line for that earlier, then I would do it. So you're going to get a ton of candy. We have a stroller we have with us, so we put our candy in a bag in the stroller.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have the stroller situation, maybe take a backpack,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and
take
you
an
can just
empty
empty your
backpack.
candy, or just put your whole candy bag in your backpack. Because the bags, I mean, they're decent size, but they're not
But
huge.
they're only like...
At the end of the night, I mean, they basically tell you, we're just trying to get rid of candy.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just dump that thing in your backpack and get as much as you want. So we've been shipping a box of it back, and then we'll snack on it for like a month after we get back.
Yeah.
And it's good candy too.
Yeah.
Because it's sponsored by M&M Mars or whatever
Mars,
it is.
Yeah.
So it's our favorite thing.
It
was on my first Disney trip that week. We went to the party, and we've went back every year since. So let me see if there's any other information about it.
Fall is just my favorite time anyways. The way they've just got it set up, all the pumpkins and stuff, is just so pretty.
And it's still hot, like even late October, especially during the day, it's still going to be steamy. From our experience, even in the evenings, after dark, it's still pretty humid and hot. So you got to plan accordingly. Let me read the costume rules here, because I know a lot of people go in costumes. A lot of kids go in costumes. Let's see here. Please read our official costume guidelines. So basically, it's a bunch of fancy wording, because during a regular Magic Kingdom day, you're not really supposed to. An adult's not really supposed to dress up because they don't want to confuse you with possibly a character. But for these parties, basically what they're going to tell you is don't wear a face mask,
Mm-hmm.
don't wear anything showing too much skin, and it just goes through a list of safety stuff, like you don't want clothing dragging the ground, of course, because if you got on a ride, something could happen, that sort of thing. But it's basically the face mask thing is
the big thing.
Yeah, and then for kids, there's a little bit different rules, you know what I mean? Because it's not as strict, but basically they got it worded to where if you dressed up as Princess Jasmine, they don't want people thinking you are Princess Jasmine there to meet people. It says Disney annual pass holders and vacation club members can save $10 a ticket. I don't think I said that before.
Mm-mm.
And basically that's it. Now, last year, the first several parties rained hard the whole time, and they don't advertise this, and they don't usually do it. But they did offer people another party day like 3 or 4, maybe more than that times last year, because I know like the first night it rained. It seems like the first month of parties, at least 75% of them rained, and I know several of them it rained from like the start of the party to the end.
I mean, people were like walking in.
Yeah, there was no fireworks, there was no shows, so they offered those people a deal. But the terms say weather is weather, you get what you get. So it rained on us. Was it the Christmas or the Halloween parade last year? I can't remember, but it was at the very end.
I can't remember. I want to say it was Halloween.
There'll be event merchandise. Let's see if they release what it is. In the Emporium, it don't tell you exactly what it is. I'm sure they'll give a preview at some point. They have some overlays for some of the rides. So like Space Mountain, they turn off every light in the place and play spooky music. So it's black dark. Normally it's pretty dark. It's black dark. The teacups have a Halloween overlay. I'm trying to think of what else. That's the two main ones. They have like this cool projection, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween projection you can like take a picture with. There's probably 3 or 4 photo pass special things, Halloween related, you can take a picture with. We try to jump in those.
They did one that had this little light fixture thing that they went behind you, and it made this cool.
That was Christmas. That was a candy cane.
I thought they did one.
They probably did one for that too.
Okay.
But there is a ton to do. The way to do it is, in my opinion, go in October and watch videos and specifically the live streams before you go of whoever, because then you can kind of see, all right, well,
This is happening there.
yeah, this, because there's a lot of things that happen. Like, they don't even advertise that Max is even there. But every year for the past like 3 years, he comes out, I forget what let's say 20 minutes before the parade or whatever it is. And he does his little standout dance, and then he moves on and does it every so often. And that's not even advertised. The Hitchhiking Ghost wasn't advertised, and they just randomly last year started showing up and doing their little
That was
thing.
cool.
You got the Cadaver Dans, which is the Dapper Dans, and they go sing over kind of beside the Country Bears in Frontierland. There's just like, once you figure out all the things going on, it's hard to cover it all in one night, and that's not even counting if you want to ride some stuff. So
Who are the guys that do the jokes?
that's the Cadaver Dans.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm excited. I knew it was coming soon, but I'm excited. They finally released the dates, and then a couple of days we'll be able to start getting tickets, and we'll be talking about this a lot more, I'm sure. But we just wanted to chat with y'all about it. If you've been, let us know in the comments, or if you got any tips, let us know in the comments. Probably my tip, because you don't want to carry candy around all night if you can avoid it. So my tip would be go see all the little singings and shows and all that, and then after fireworks or the last parade or whatever, if you can quickly hit all the candy stops, you'll get the most candy. And also at that time, you can ride the most rides. And the last stage show starts at 12, which is technically when the party's over. So my advice would be see that last stage show. That way you're not wasting time during the rest of the party to see it. And then, technically Main Street stays open like an hour and a half after that. So you got plenty of time. Let us know in the comments what you think. Are you going this year? Have you been before? What's your experience? And hit the old subscribe button.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all watching. Looking forward to spending Halloween season with you.
Hey, Dad.
See ya.
Bye.